Hey everyone, happy Monday. So I have been going through my bookshelves and organizing and cleaning. For those of you that saw my post, was that Saturday? I guess that was Saturday. We decided to put our house on the market just to kind of see what would happen. And 6 showings in 24 hours. We had 2 offers. So we are under contract in less than 48 hours, which is a huge blessing and a huge, oh my gosh. But as I'm cleaning out my office and starting to pack, I already have like half of my books in a taped up box, and I'm having a little bit of anxiety over the fact that I didn't realize how much of a nerd I am. I didn't realize how much I refer to my books and what I read on a regular basis. And it got me thinking. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to jump on here because, one, I did not become a reader until, about 8 years ago. I had already retired from being a nurse. I had already switched over to working from home and being self-employed. And then I discovered that I was lacking in some skills. I didn't know how to be a leader, and that I wanted to just step up to the challenge of learning and growing. I'm a very visual learner, and I am a verbal processor. So there were some points along the way that I really felt like I need a mentor, I need a coach, I need a guide. And when I couldn't, one, before I could afford it, and two, when I didn't know who to look to for guidance, that is when I just fell in love with reading, because I really took to heart words on pages and allowed them to be something that was speaking to me, allowed myself to be coached and trained through the different books that I read. So as I've been packing my office and organizing, one, I'm starting to realize that some of my favorite books are already packed away, and I'm really freaking out that I don't have access to them until after I move and unpack. But I'm also rediscovering some of the books that I fell in love with that were pushed to the back that have now moved to the front, and I kind of dusted them off. So I wanted to share with you guys probably a book that you've never heard of. I was introduced to Orrin Woodward through a friend, Art Jonak, and they both have been integral parts of speaking life into my business at good times, at bad times, just through it all. And so when I started reading this book, Resolved, I was like, whoa, that's really kind of deep. But as I'm thinking about what 2020 has been, and then moving forward to 2021, what do? We start thinking about New Year's resolutions. So what a better time to bring up this book called Resolved. And I wanted to introduce it to you guys, one, because Christmas is coming, and maybe you are maybe you're a college student. If you are a college student or just getting ready to go to college, this would be amazing. Resolved 13 Resolutions for Life by Orrin Woodward. But there's also just a little baby Resolved primer, and it's just an overview of 13 resolutions. And I may have lost some of you, which is fine. Even if there's only one person on here who this is going to be beneficial for, that's all fine and dandy. But books are some of my favorite things, and I am newly excited and ready to jump into this because I only went through it once, and now looking at this, I'm like, this is perfect for 2021, and I want to share with you why. We cannot hope to influence others until we have come to profoundly influence ourselves. By beginning with yourself and forging these resolutions into your being, you become a living model of your principles and a change agent for those around you. Resolve to master the principles in these pages and to be transformed by the wisdom gained from your journey. By transforming yourself, you will gain the tools, the competence, and more importantly, the character to transform your community. And with those things, you will have the means to change the world. Bold words, I know, but true. Opportunity is knocking. Seize it, open the door, and claim your destiny. So he says he wrote these 13 resolutions to study one resolution a week, applying all the chapter's principles and directives into your daily life throughout the 7 days of that week. So it would take you 13 weeks to get through the book, which is exactly 1 quarter. Repeating the cycle will allow you to thoroughly explore all 13 resolutions 4 times in 1 calendar year. So the first time you read it, you're just gaining knowledge. The second time you read it, you can start to really process it. And by the third time, you're like, I'm learning this and I can actually apply it. So he breaks it into certain categories, and I'm just going to really super quick for those of you that want a sneak peek. If you're thinking, you know what, maybe I want to look at this for 2021, or if you're thinking, you know, this is just could be a great Christmas gift, I'm going to give you a really quick sneak peek into what he says. So the 13 resolutions are 1, purpose. I resolve to discover my God-given purpose in life. And I'm not going to give you all of the details of each one. This is just what they are. 2 is character. I resolve to choose character over reputation anytime they conflict. Number 3 is attitude. I resolve to have a positive attitude in all situations. Number 4 is alignment. I resolve to align my subconscious mind with my conscious intention. And then it breaks into the next category, practice. I resolve to develop and implement a game plan in each area of my life. Oh my gosh, that right there, I'm like, that gets my heart beating fast, especially for thinking about what has this year been and where was I not intentional, and what areas of my life can I get intentional to help move me forward in my goals for what I have. Score. I resolve to keep score in the game of life. I know that the scoreboard forces me to check and confront my results and make needed adjustments in order to win. Oh my gosh. My little personal growth and development meter is just like, friendship. I resolve to practice the art and science of friendship. I mean, that one right there, I'm like, I want to learn how to be a better friend in 2021. Financial intelligence. I resolve to practice financial intelligence. I know that over time, my wealth compounds when my net income is higher than my expenses. Y'all, I'm telling you, these are as basic and simple on the surface, but as you dive into them, and as Warren Woodward is just phenomenal. I just, I truly love. He's a very wise man who I just really respect. Leadership achievements, leadership. So it breaks into the last category is leadership. I resolve to practice the art and science of leadership. I know that everything rises and falls based on the leadership culture created in my community. So for those of you who are watching, who are in network marketing like I am, or if you're self-employed, or if you're a boss or an employee, learning about leadership and leading people, you will never go wrong with learning how to do that well. Unity. I resolve to practice the art and science of conflict resolution. I know that unresolved conflicts can destroy a community's unity and growth. I really feel like where we are right now, Sandra, as soon as this, as soon as I go off, I'll post this and you can go back and watch the whole thing. Conflict resolution is one of those things I will tell you, as a self-described recovering people pleaser, I used to avoid conflict at all costs. And a lot of times that was to the detriment of my heart, and really being able to realize that if I could learn how to handle conflict and then do conflict resolution well, that it could be a learning process and that we could move forward. But I used to run for the hills and just avoid it at all costs, and that was not good for my heart. So this was very helpful for me just on that one section of conflict resolution. Holism. I resolve to practice big picture thinking. Resilience. I resolve to increase my capacity to overcome adversity. Hallelujah. Amen. Can we get a thank you, Jesus, on that one? Resilience. Maybe that's going to be my word for 2021. Every year I pick a word of the year. And that sounds like a really good one. I know that fulfilling my vision depends on my perseverance in the face of obstacles and setbacks. Can I get a emoji, heart, whatever, y'all? So if you're just jumping on, I'm packing because we are getting ready to pack and move out of this house that we built. That was our dream house. And God has just blessed us, and our vision and all the things expanded, and we are going to be able to move into our new dream house, hopefully in February. And so I'm packing, and I uncovered some of my dusty old favorite books, and this just speaks to me, and I know it's timely. I know I found it for a reason, and I wanted to share it with you as one of my favorite things. The 13th resolution is, I resolve to leave a legacy by fulfilling my purpose. And oh my gosh, that just touches my heart in so many ways. I know that by reversing the natural currents of decline in the world, I will have a positive impact on the world that continues beyond the limits of my life. And that is truly what I feel called to do and to be as a wife, as a mom, as a leader, as what I'm doing with my business. Leaving a legacy is something that is so key and so critical. So that's just an overview. I know this video is already longer than I thought. Like I said, fast forward, share, watch it later, save it for later. But this resolved 13 resolutions for life just is one of my absolute favorites. And I'm committing to go back through this in 2021 and really, really apply it. So I'm just going to give you I'm going to read 2 pages. So this is resolution 2, just so you can kind of see how it unfolds. And this is from Orrin Woodward. So resolution 2 is character. I resolve to choose character over reputation anytime they conflict. Character is like a tree, and reputation is its shadow. The shadow is what we think of it. The tree is the real thing. That's a quote by Abraham Lincoln. Character is a special quality that enhances all other virtues. In truth, without character, none of the other resolutions really matter, because living without character is like building a house on quicksand. In the course of your life, you will face situations where you have to make a choice between character and reputation. In order to make the right choice, it's important to understand the 2 essential virtues that make up the quality of character. And I think this is one thing that was so helpful for me, is it really breaks down what is it. And for me, you guys know, for any of you that have followed me for any amount of time, I love the opportunity to reflect. Whether it's every Sunday night, reflect and recharge and see where I was last week and where I want to go this week, the end of a month, the end of a quarter, the end of a year, just to be able to reflect and process and say, am I going where I want to be going? If I'm not, as I reflect, I'm going to adjust and shift things and continue to move forward. So character, the 2 things that make up character, the first is integrity. The word integrity comes from a Latin integer, meaning whole, complete, and untouched. Being a person of integrity means you are whole, not fragmented or self-contradictory. Your words and your actions are not in conflict. As Dr. Seuss put it, right, in Horton Hatches the Egg, I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. Yet character is more than what a person says or does. Character is who the person is. Integrity ensures that a person does not intentionally do wrong. People of integrity may still be criticized, but they can rightfully expect to be believed and trusted. And when they're not, they let time prove them right. Words such as honorable, honest, trustworthy, dutiful, and faithful describe a person with integrity. Author Mark Sandberg describes integrity as an essential ingredient in leadership. When integrity ceases to be a leader's top priority, when a compromise of ethics is rationalized away as necessary for the greater good, when achieving results becomes more important than the means to their achievement, that is the moment when a leader steps on to the slippery slope of failure. John Wooden has 3 principles. In the early years of the 20th century, an Indiana farmer named John Wooden taught his family that the meaning of integrity, and his son, John, carried these lessons with him throughout his life. As an adult, John became one of the most revered coaches of all time, winning 10 NCAA titles in his last 12 years, including a record 7 times in a row. Every time, or even more than his winning record, John Wooden was admired for the way that he taught and inspired his players to live a life of integrity. Coach Wooden based his life and conduct on 3 principles that he learned from his father. Number 1, never lie. Number 2, never cheat. And number 3, never steal. Imagine how simple life would be if everyone followed these principles. Taken together, they form a yardstick against which any person of conscience and character may measure his own actions. So then it goes on to break down never lie, why is that important, never cheat, never steal, all of that. But I'm telling you guys, this is one of those books. So when Orrin was talking about why he wrote this book, he said over and over and over as he was coaching team members and counseling people, they just wanted to know, what is the secret to success? And the same things kept coming up over and over and over again. So when I purchased this book, it was one of those, I was allowing myself to be coached and trained by somebody who had given advice and had shared and had learned along the way and created this book, 13 Resolutions for Life, as advice, things he learned the hard way, things that he, learned just along the way. And it's absolutely brilliant. So if you need a Christmas gift for a team member, if you are just looking to have 2021 be something that's a little bit different, for me, I am going to take this and really I've already done the skim reading of it and the learning of it. And now this time around, it's going to be, how can I apply this to my heart so that I can show up in life as a wife and as a mom and as a friend, and as a leader, of character and integrity, and somebody who, is influential to not just change the world under my roof, but hopefully to have that ripple effect of truly loving and giving and serving. Because I truly feel like God has placed each and every one of us on this planet for a purpose. And I want to walk in my calling and in my strengths and in my purpose to create a legacy in so many different ways. So thank you guys for hanging with me on a longer than usual Facebook Live. I will put a picture of it in the comments if you guys want to see, like I said, the 13 Resolutions for Life. This is like the big hard copy, or like the big, thick, deep one. This one is called the Resolutions Primer, and it's just a little baby overview. So both are great. I recommend them both. And I will put them in the comments. So there you go. Happy Christmas shopping for the person who has everything that you don't know what to give them, or buy it for yourself, and we will all rock and roll 2021 together and be world changers. Talk to you guys later.